Hi guys, welcome to SoccerBeat. It's Cheezboy, Mokoena here, and Peter du Toit. And we're bringing you what's hot and trending. And guys, we've got an incredible show today. The first part of the show, we're going to bring you an update in a bizarre new twist to the Saleng story. Something out the box with Saleng. Something I didn't believe was going to happen. And afterwards, we'll take a short break, and then we'll come and talk about Royal AM and a solution we have for the PSL with Royal AM that I haven't heard before. But before we go, guys, Cheese and I, we got a big request to you. We want to hit 50,000. 50,000 subscribers. Please, join us, guys. Join us. Just a little press. Cheese, tell them. Beg them. Tell the guys. 50,000. That's what we want.
Please, man. It's your boy, the real cheese mozzarella. Let's get to that 50,000 mark, guys. I mean, that's what we do here. We let the beat do the talking. So you let the finger do the talking as well. Just hit that button, man, and we'll keep them coming. We keep them coming.
Good man. And also don't forget, support our sponsors. Get on the Betway app, press the SoccerBeat button, and you get yourself a 25 Rand equal bet there. Right. So we all know the background to the Saleng story. Obviously, the big contractual issue, the problem with regards to the overseas move and so on and so forth. And there was his didn't-come training, no comment from the club. And then next minute, to all our delight, we see Saleng back at training. And I can tell you, Cheese, what happened this weekend was great news. He trained well. He played in a friendly on Sunday, and he scored. Everybody was excited. And when our sources at Pirates told me this, and more than one source told us, I thought, like every fan out there, I thought, you know what? On CAF games, I'm a Pirates fan and a Sundowns fan. And I thought, you know what? I can just see the stadium. They see Saleng on the bench. Because I thought Nakota's got to start because his pace scares them. And I thought, and Tito's back. And I thought, okay, Saleng on the bench. The whole stadium's going to get excited. And then when they see him warming up with maybe 20 minutes to go, the stadium is going to erupt. When he comes on, the stadium is going to be like not even a 12th man, a 20th man. And can you imagine? He scores in the last 15 minutes, the winner. Take Pirates through to the semi-final. I mean, it was fairy tale. That's what I really believe was going to happen, really what I hoped would happen. And it would have been a perfect end to this whole Saleng saga. But then bad news, guys. This is fact. Been checked with multiple sources. He didn't pitch for training for the warm down on Monday, which is today. Who knows what will happen tomorrow, but I'll talk to you about the consequences of going forward anyway. But he didn't pitch. And it wasn't the case that he sent in an excuse. He just didn't pitch. And that, let's first of all, what does that signify? I mean, has it taken the solution right out? I mean, the chance of him being on the bench for the weekend, even if he comes training, is very low. What do you think? You know the man.
Yeah, I mean, Peter. I mean, we've been up and down with this story. I'm also been on the ground trying to look for the boy, trying to contact him, you know. And when I saw the clip of him back at training, and also one of the sources telling me, I know the boy's back is training, I was so happy and excited. Like you just said, I mean, he just played a friendly on Sunday. Those were good indications that he might be ready for the Wednesday game against in the Champions League, you know. So I don't know what's really happening in his mind, because I remember telling you, Peter, that the other time I was in Kimberley to watch the Sundowns versus Pirates match with the fans. And on our way back, we stopped at a garage, and the security comes up to me. He says, "Hey, Cheese, you know what? I watch your show. I watch SoccerBeat, you and Peter and Mike and the team. You know who just left the garage now?" I'm like, "Who?" He's like, "Salem just left now." He's like, "What?" It's like 5 minutes ago. And I'm like, oh, I just missed him, you know. And with these news coming up, you know, Peter, I was so excited because I know the boy, he scores goals, you know, that's his thing, you know, he loves scoring goals. But it's unlike him. It's unlike him not pitching up for training, you know. Yes, he's going through some stuff, but I know that he respects and he loves his job. He might be being told by somebody that, you know what, go there, train, then after that miss one session, you know. So it's, you know, this wave that's happening, you know, it's not really good for him. You understand? It's not really good for him. I mean, the Champions League, the guys really need him. They really need him because he might come in handy. I mean, you just said now, you had a dream, you know, and I wish that dream could come true. Maybe we don't know. Maybe they can squeeze him in on the upcoming game. But yeah, we shall see, Peter. But yeah, so far, not looking good for him. And also for the Bucks fans, because wherever I go, they're so impatient now. They're like, well, the team is doing well. You know, we love the boy, But the more this thing drags on, I don't think we're gonna even start, believing that he really loves being at the club. I think that's just gonna play a little bit of a negative effect on him. The comeback would have been great, and I can see that picture, when he's just there on the bench warming up. I think everybody would have really been excited to see Saleng in these last championship games.
So, geez, it doesn't make any sense, because why come back if everything is not, I'm not saying everything was settled between him and the club, but some sensibility obviously came to the table, whether it was his agent who told him or he did a decision on his own. But the sensible thing is to train and show your commitment, which he did. Maybe he was expecting the club to come forward with something after 3-4 sessions, but that's never going to happen. You're not just walking to the chairman's office and say, okay, I'm back 3 sessions, all's forgiven. It's like any relationship, and football's like a love relationship. It's an emotional relationship between club and player as well. And there's also the financial. I think he needed to be there a longer time before to maybe get upset and disappear again. So it's really, the sensibility has been lost. And what I can tell you, and we're doing the show on a Monday, and maybe he pitches for training on Tuesday, but I don't think, Cheese, that's going to make any difference from what I'm hearing at the club, And I mean, ask yourself as a player, what are the players thinking right now? They obviously sympathetic to one of their teammates, and they must have been excited when he came back. It's like a child. Their mom and dad have got back together again kind of scenario, and now the mom or the father leaves again. What do the players think? And you know what? I think it's a bad effect just before this game, because the camp's all happy. Now they got to go, okay. But at some stage, the players are going to say, okay, this guy's out of our minds. We're not worrying about him. And he can't just keep coming back, because it's playing with somebody's emotion. And also, Cheese, you played in the position. What does the coach feel? Because, he's been there all the time.
I think as a youngster, he was probably also looking up to Saleng, because I think if you look at the type of a player that he is as well, coming from the MDC, coming into that position where Saleng was doing really well, I think he was looking up to him. And now with these things that are happening, I think he's probably having a different eye, towards that, and it affects the team, because sometimes as players we might influence decisions as well, in terms of setting up with the coach, technical team. If I was the leader, the captain there, coach, what's the scenario? What's happening? Let's have a chat with the boy. Okay, I'll talk to him privately. Let him at least train and play the games, and you try push for him to sort out his issues with management and all of that. Because it's just playing with the emotions of the guys. Because one day you hear, we all get excited. Welcome back, boy. Welcome back, Ntwana. We have these targets that we set from the beginning of the season, and know that you were supposed to be part of them. We know you're going through stuff, but please come, Fetty, because the fans love you. We need you as your teammates, because we can't do it all alone, and guys are getting injured, guys are getting off form. You were just one of the key players that we really need, so it's also just letting down your teammates as well, rather just sit at home and not come at all, and just let them know, guys, I can only come back once everything is resolved. This hopping in and out, it affects the mood and his relationship with his teammates, because now, like you said, it's like a relationship. Now, how do I trust a guy like that to say he's going to deliver for me? Because yes, he might be back, get into the team, and then he does not perform, and we all sit back. I'm like, but then he should have just stayed at home, because we're doing really well right now. Pirates has been on a roll. It doesn't really show that they really need the boy. It's only when the team does not do well, we start thinking, hey, where's Saleng? Where's Saleng? Pirates is a big club, massive club. So the decision lies with him, Peter. He must think he's playing around with a lot of fans, monies, people that really love him, the club that is paying him, the club that's given him that image. Because to play for Pirates, you are in the history books already, and especially a player like him who would have went on and still continue to do what he's doing now. He's just messing that whole thing up, because it's going to have repercussions somewhere, somehow, Peter.
Correct. Cheese, 2 things. Number one, we've all been players, and the bottom line is your contract is your contract. And there are players on bigger money than you, and I can tell you there are players on less money than Saleng who are actually playing in the team and accepting it. And it's the time for them to negotiate when the contract comes to an end. But be that as it may, what I can tell the viewers out there, that the feeling that I'm getting back from the various sources that I'm speaking to, including players, and I think that the coach and the club the approach they're going to take is the only approach they can really take. And if you think about it, and I think the fans would understand this as well, is that the Saleng thing is becoming like a circus. You know, it can't overtake the what the club's trying to achieve, what the team's trying to achieve.
Yes.
We're in a crucial state of the season here for Pirates. They're in the quarterfinals of Champions League. The game is on Wednesday, 2 days' time. The full concentration is going to be on that game. The Nedbank Cup on the weekend, and Pirates are still in the league race because the Royal AM, the points are going to be deducted. Sundowns will lose 3 points. Yes, it's an outside chance. But also, it's disrespecting Jose's last tenure at the club. We don't need this kind of circus, this mayhem playing out and overtaking. So I want to just say to the Pirates fans out there that we're bringing you this news because it's our job to bring you the latest what's happened. He didn't train and he's disappeared again. That's not good for him. But we've got to put Saleng second year as Pirates fans, and I'm a Pirates fan when it comes to CAF. I'm neutral on everything else. I think the club and Jose will say to the players and indirectly saying to the fans that, listen, guys, the Saleng story that's what they say, the straw that broke the camel's back. We've got too much at stake here. We've got to concentrate fully on these 3 trophies, and we've got to pay respect to the club. And most importantly, we've got a coach who's been here 3 years. We don't need his last, 5, 6 games, 8 games, hopefully with all the cup games coming into place. Yeah. We don't want this to sidetrack what Pirates are going for. So sorry to bring you bad news, guys, that Saleng didn't pitch. But I think you're not going to see much of him from now till the rest of the season unless something major changes. And he's a public apology, and he apologized to the coach and to the club and so on, because I can't see them taking him back now. Unless, God forbid, there was a disaster that happened on his family side or on his side, and there's a genuine excuse, but there's always a telephone. So I think there's exasperation from the club. And Cheese, would you agree? They can't have this as over taking away from what the club and the fans and the players want to achieve this season, and the coach.
No, it shouldn't, Peter. And I just like the message that you put out there to the Bucks fans, because some things they become a distraction. I mean, the team is doing well. They, on the verge of doing a lot of things. They've had a brilliant coach that has brought in so much confidence, good style of football. He's won cups for the team. He's even given the boy that opportunity to play. If I was him, I would just rather do it for the coach because I know he's leaving. There are going to be changes going forward. That's a way of me as a player saying, thank you so much for giving me that opportunity, because I was on loan at a so-called smaller club, Swallows at that time. I got in there, I came in with no experience at all at a big team. He molded him as a player. He probably helped him a lot because I saw the change in his game when Coach Rivera was, when he's still in charge, and I was like, wow, this boy is going to go really far because he's under good guidance, under a good manager, under a humble coach. And I think for me, I would have just bowed down and said, let me just finish this rest of the season, let everything die down. Then we can start talking, because now I am disturbing, because even the players at camp, on their phones, on the social medias, it's always that story that's popping up, and you want to be focused on what are we doing, what's the next game, how are we going to approach this game. We don't need that distraction. And now it's time for Pirates fans to celebrate each and every game like a final for the coach, because he deserves it. He deserves that. They must fill up all the stadiums. Let's forget a little bit about the Saleng story for now. Let's push the Orlando Pirates team to reach higher heights. We never know where it's going to end, but it should be a great farewell for the coach. Coach shouldn't leave and we're still stuck with an individual problem of a player. No, there's no player that is bigger than the club. The club comes first. So right now, Pirates fans, keep pushing for coach. Give him all you got. To the players, give the coach everything you got just to give him a nice send-off. It would be nice into that Champions League final, winning the Nedbank, pushing Sundowns to the last minute in the league, still have an opportunity there. So there's a lot to play for. But definitely do it for the coach and do it for the badge of Orlando Pirates. Saleng, it will happen when the time is right, when his mind's right and the people around him feel now that maybe the boy wants to play. I don't know whether the club will still open the doors. If the season ends with the club winning major trophies, it might be a negative thing for him and his career. Look, Peter is 27. At 27, I don't think that's a perfect time for you to be to being, you know, in and out, in and out.
At your peak.
I mean, you got a couple of 2 more, 3 more years. You should be enjoying your football, and he was doing that until this halt. He's gonna
Yeah.
make me cry, Peter, this boy. But anyway, it's fine.
Please don't cry,
Let's
Cheesy. Please don't cry. Your children are in the house. The final thing I'd say, so guys, obviously we don't know, God forbid something terrible happened at home with family with Saleng, and there's a genuine excuse. That would be kind of a good thing, but a bad thing from a family side. But I think the club has made a firm decision here that they're going to concentrate on what counts. And I think possibly the club should issue a statement and say that they've given Saleng leave until the end of the season, and they will address it till the end of the season, then, like they did with the coach, saying this is what's happened. We're taking the circus away, and everybody knows what's happened, and we can focus on that. I think with the Saleng thing, they should also issue a statement saying he didn't come to training. We've put him on special leave, inverted commas, and we'll address it at the end of the season. And everybody knows, and that may be a very good thing for his agent and play himself to actually think about then. We're going to take a short break, and after this break, we're going to talk about what I think, or we think, is the actual solution for the PSL and Royal AM. We'll be back with you shortly.
How would you like to win a little something extra just for joining the best in the game? For a limited time, we are teaming up with Betway and giving all of you access to a SoccerBeat exclusive. If you join Betway using the sign-up code SoccerBeat, now in March, you'll get 25 Rand Extra Bet. That's right. It's time to get way more out of every bet. Standard T's and C's apply.
Well, come back. Cheesy. You're looking good, my brother. You're looking younger every time I see you, huh? I think you got a young girlfriend.
They've been saying that all the time. Somebody said, "Cheese, just why don't you go take soccer boots, go back in there, man?" I'm like, no, I'm enjoying my time here with Peter, man. You know, we're trying to encourage this new generation. Let's not take away their glory.
Listen, guys, before I talk to you about Royal AM, I want to tell you something. I'm going to say in front of everybody. Cheese has agreed when we hit 50,000 subscribers, he will do a rap with a top South African artist live here. And by the way, Cheese can rap, by the way. I don't know if he wants to do one at the end of this, but this man can rap. I can't, but he can rap. I can do a ballad, but that's it. Right, Royal AM. This is going on for so long. And it's time the PSL took control of the situation. So what's happening, guys, just to summarize, and Mike Morton did a great show with us on last week sometime.
Yeah.
The situation is everything's been left in the hands of the liquidators because the club has gone bankrupt. The family's gone bankrupt, so to speak, and the club is an asset being left in the liquidators. And the whole story right now is waiting for somebody to make a bid, and there was this 25 million bid. But why would somebody make a bid for a club that's going to be relegated? Why would they pay 25 million for a club? And why will they take on all the other problems? So the solution, Cheese, is a very simple solution. The liquidation has got nothing to do with the PSL. What has happened is Royal AM have not fulfilled their fixtures. The PSL, as I understand the rules, and we've discussed this, as we understand the rules, and we've spoken to lawyers on this, is that the PSL just needs to simply expel Royal AM. Finished. That liquidation is a separate issue then. The club then has a zero value in the liquidators, with the liquidators. And when they expel the club, what should happen is they automatically relegated, so to speak, and the club disappears. And then Cape Town City or Supersport, which looks like it, has a playoff with the first division clubs. But what should happen then? There's a spare place in the first division, because obviously that's where Royal AM would have gone. And they don't make this into an 18-team league, because an 18-team league means extra cost for all the clubs and extra games for the players. And we have enough games, Sundowns, Pirates, etc. We get in the Champions League. We've got enough games. 16 league team is fine. The standard is not that good that we need to have another 2 teams that may not be that good in this league.
No way.
So we create a space in the first division by expelling Royal AM, and the price to buy Royal AM is zero. You get it for free on condition you pay all the outstanding money to the current players, coaching staff, administration people, and so on, and you pay Nurkovic's what he's owed. So the person who buys the club, gets the club for zero, and he takes on the debts, and those debts, I've done a rough calculation, will probably be under 10 million rand, and the first division club is worth between 8 and 15 million rand. So all those debts would come about there. So it'd be a fair price. And you've got more chance of somebody buying a first division club between 10 or 8 to 15 million rand. And by the way, they don't even have to say all the debts, that you come to a negotiated settlement with all the players. So some of the players may say, we'd take half our salary but give us another 2-year contract. So there's many ways to make this happen. But then we've got finality. We can have the league standings without Royal AM straight away, and that the effect that it has on relegation and top 8 and first and second place. So that's sorted. We know next year there's going to be 16 teams with the one promoted team and then the playoffs. We've got a spares place in the first division, and it's taken by a new team with a new owner who gets it for free as long as he covers all the costs. If no one comes in, the first division can have one less team, and then somehow I think because they would still get money, by the way, from the liquidators, because those players and Nurkovic are still owed money by Royal AM, which is still an entity with the liquidators. It's an asset to the liquidators. But then, if I suppose no, I speak under correction, probably wouldn't be an asset, then it would be a dead asset because they wouldn't have a league position. But the fact that it's a PSL club is what's creating the problem. They could even, by the way, sell it with the liquidators on that basis that it's a first division club, because there will technically be a first division club, and then say to the liquidators that club is now worth 0 or very little because of the debt. So there's 2 ways to skin that cat, so to speak. Either they get expelled and the PSL says it's not our problem, and they go to that solution, or the PSL go to the liquidator and say, listen, this is a first division club. The value is between 8 and 12, but sell it to the person who will pay the players' debts or the club's debts and make the price 0. That, I think, is the only thing that can happen here. Geez, I don't know. What have you heard? Or what do you think?
I think you've hit it right on the nail there, Peter, with those options. I think it's the options that we've given to the fans, because they also want to know what's happening, in terms of the points. Yes, they're getting different stories and tips, but I think you just came with 3 brilliant options that should happen. But obviously the expulsion will be the best, for the PSL. Let me just get relegated, and then they can sort out their issues, because I'm worried more about the image of our league. I'm worried more about the image. That's the most important thing. I think if this was done actually early, because if they had gotten Moodley to buy the team and start to play their games, they still wouldn't catch up with all these games and stuff. So they should just be relegated, normal, and they can sort out their endeavors that side, while this side we wait for one club and we continue with life as normal. I think that would be the best solution, because right now there's just a lot of stories about this, because the likes of Thabo Matlaba, the guys are crying, Peter. The kids want money to go to school, and this thing is dragging. Monies are not coming in. People have bills to pay, and they're also now part of that whole thing that's happening around there. It's affecting them and affecting their careers. Remember, there's also youngsters that are there that have Bushikanes. They've been doing so well, and now there's a halt, and it's a problem. Imagine there's a halt, you're not even getting paid. That's worse. So with this
needs a solution quickly. And also, when they say, what about the sponsors? What's all they have to do is give the sponsors a pro rata discount on the games. There's a value to each game, a pro rata discount to the games on this. Or there's other ways to give the sponsors their money back, and the PSL can phone us. We'll come up with a solution. Cheese, thanks very much. Don't forget, guys, Cheese will rap when we hit 50,000 with a top star.
50, my friend. I'm going to pull one artist there. You'll hear the real cheese mozzarella. We turn the cheese to cheddar. Oh, yeah.
And I tell you what, guys, when we hit 50,000, those of you who stay listening to the end, we'll put 50,000 in the kitty for subscribers, for a competition for subscribers only. And the winner, or 4 or 5 winners, that you can take as a red. So hit that 50,000, man. There's 50,000 waiting for you. And Cheese's rap. Cheese, you're a star. That's a rap. See you soon. Cheers, guys. Cheers.